Oh, we're not too wonky considering it all went slightly wrong. I've got to reposition us. Bear with us a second. Oh, it's pinged me off somewhere weird now. Bear with us. Oh, it's so professional. This is our... Hello, everyone. This
Just
is...
like being in space.
Yeah, spinning around. Good evening, everyone. Roll 20
Tether
is
us,
a really
Luke.
annoying quirk that upsets me. I've done. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna slag off Roll 20 on this very professional stream that we're running. They're a wonderful thing, and we're very happy to use it.
Yeah, I'm just going to say really quickly that wouldn't it be super useful if Roll 20, I don't know, tethered things in place when you put them down?
Yeah, and
Exactly.
anchored it nicely.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Roll 20 and the expense.
Yeah.
You still haven't got it out of your system, huh?
Look, if you guys are going to keep that thing burning, I'm going to keep adding fuel to that fire. That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
Speaking of fire, happy nearly 5th of November, bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night, everyone.
Yeah, happy bonfire night.
Bonfire night. Yes. Well, here we go. Right, we're good to go. I think sounds on. We're all on. We're in the right place. We've been tethered. It's okay until we float away again at some point. God, they paid for this.
Money's worth. You're welcome, Soul Muppet.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. Sorry about that, but that's exactly the way we roll. So, it is what it is. It's Saturday night, and on Saturday night, we do a whole range of things here as a wonderful channel. I'm calling us wonderful. You can be the judge of that later on. But we've probably judged that already. But this Saturday, we are very happy to be doing one of our favourite things, which is playing Orbital Blues, which is one of our absolute favourite games. Which is why we were very, 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 very excited. I'm just moving the camera. To be asked by the wonderful Soul Muppet to play one of their new stories from their Kickstarter expansion, Afterburn. Like, we'd do it anyway. You didn't need to ask us and offer us stuff and things like that. Like, we'd love the game. But thank you that you did, and we hope that we're going to do it justice. We're going to love it. I've managed to choose an adventure that we're going to run through. We're not going to do it in one night. But unlike some of the other channels that are professional, and we'll say we're going to do it over 4 nights, I have no idea. Because we play at a pace that I believe Timothy Collinson once quoted as even slower than glacial, something like that.
I think we settled on tectonic.
But
and I think he was being generous.
I think he was.
I've made you Anna, and Anna you. Oh dear. See, this is what's all gone wrong with the world. It's okay. Let's put you back up there and see if that works.
That's okay.
You've become untethered again.
Lost in the vacuum of space.
Can we have
otherwise known as Roll 20.
There it is. He's back. It's all good. So yes, thank you all of you for joining us. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you enjoyed the session with us. We'll talk more about it as we go along, of course. And we'll introduce ourselves in a minute. But first, a little bit of housekeeping, because it's not late enough already. We're going to run, I have no idea how long tonight. Maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 and a bit. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. There'll be a break in the middle of 5 to 10 minutes where toilets will be taken, wine glasses will be refilled, and snacks will be had. And then we can all regather again for the second half. I have no idea when that'll be. One of them will message me in Roll 20 saying they're really desperate, or a cat's scratching at them or something, and then we'll break them. There is a red sun you can click there, which is what you can spend some points on if you have any points. We're quite an interactive channel. We pride ourselves on being welcoming, friendly, and interactive. If you want to spend some points, please do. Click on it. What we got in there tonight? I've had to turn off all the music ones because we can't really be playing music tonight as much as I love to. We've got all the music we're playing on the adverts and this and that are like is proper, checked, free, rights-free music, and that's all kosher. We check that. But the things you can spend some points on tonight, you can give them a boon, which is helpful. They love a boon. You can make their character regale you with a tale of their youth, maybe, or something. You can name an NPC. You can become part of canon, as far as I care. Just give them a stupid name. We've had ridiculous names before. Give them a cool name. Feeling quippy. Get one of the characters to have to tell a joke or make a quip in-game at the next possible opportunity. Here's to you. We'll toast you. We're happy for you to be here. Good on you. We love it. And the rest will sort of make some sense if you click on it. But they're sort of the biggest today, really. Please feel free to lurk. Feel free to chat. We love our lurkers. We love our chatters. We try and keep chat friendly, and we will chat as well if we're not busy. So if Ben is off on some long soliloquy, maybe Ewan will be chatting something in chat. And things you say in chat, if you chat to us or say things about the adventure, you might find that it spills into the game because, yet again, we love that interactivity and we can't help ourselves. And we might stop if some people we know come in and say hello. Just a side. That's something we do. We love to physically chat as people come in. And I'm sorry if that ruins your vibe. We try and keep it quite short. Anyway, I think that's enough of housekeeping. I'll introduce each of us. My name is Luke. I'm the storyteller. Hello. I bleed merch, it appears. I have my Alkonost t-shirt on for tonight. I have my... I chose that, but then I just grabbed my Grey Hill Bast mug just because that was the one at the front.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of that. And I'm using the very cool Orbital Blues dice. I don't know if they're still gettable, but they are very cool. It's got a little sad space astronaut on the front there. Very sad. These are 6 though, so he's quite happy, really. But that's me. Let's work down this tower of pleasure. Starting there.
Well,
With my brother from another mother. That's why he's next to me, because he always sits at my side, like the taskmaster's assistant. It's little
Wow.
Martin. Especially in the back. He is brother from another mother, the Floofmeister General, the housewife's favourite, the man with the finest quiff since Elvis. Ewan, good evening to you, and how are you?
Hey, look, I'm wonderful, thanks. I'm wonderful. Which isn't, it's not good because we're playing sad Space Cowboys, as you mentioned. And everyone who's been here before knows that we're all very much serious method actors.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as you can tell from the intro. But I am doing really well, thanks.
I'm really glad. You doing well makes me happy. It fills me with joy and hope for the future, and it's the hope that kills us ultimately. Speaking
Cannon.
of being killed, can you tell us about your character, please?
Wow. Well, I mean, I suppose the good thing is that now I have no hope for my character as such. They won't get killed.
Oh,
That's the first paradox of the evening.
you've used the paradox against me.
But yes, tonight I am Captain, the person in charge of our beloved Alkonost, Captain Bill Raven, the man with the beloved battered jacket, the man with the knuckle dusters, named knuckle dusters, wisdom and persuasion. And I think that's about it. The man who uses grit once a session.
Could you do that wisdom and persuasion thing again? You look really macho.
Wisdom.
Cool.
Thanks.
So those of you that are joining us for the first time tonight, if you are, our heroes have just come off a previous adventure. And Bill, if there is one smell or flavour that you can remember from that adventure, what would it be?
Yeah. Hemp bags. tons and tons of hemp bags. Mostly because he liberated some and took a large armful on the ship with them.
Seriously hoping that's a smell rather than a flavour.
Well, yes, both.
And if, there's a lot of patchouli going around at the minute, I've noticed. Down the
Bless
halls of the Baltic stuff. the Alkonost story. I'm getting confused with ships today. I knew it would happen at some point. Well, Captain Bill, an absolute pleasure as always. You guys, if it's your first time, you'll like Captain Bill. There's something about him. Something I can't quite say what it is because I haven't decided what it is yet. But
It's the jacket.
It is the jacket.
it's a very nice jacket.
Without the jacket, he's nothing.
Also true.
So, moving down to someone that is also perhaps emotionally less of a person without a special something or someone. Character, anyway. Let's introduce the player first. She is our most honoured honorary boy from the Baltic Star. She is our Bristolian fishwife. Happy anniversary, my dear.
Oh, Cecil.
And she brings joy, happiness, and a certain drunken je ne sais quoi wherever she goes. She is our trained sock fiddler. Good evening, Socks. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you? I
Yeah,
also feel like I need to answer as Philomena because the rest of it. All right, darling. I'm all right. How are you? How are you, my love?
Oh, the crossovers are.
Thick and fast.
Oh man, it's worse than
Can't
the
catch
Avengers
him.
in here.
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
Across the
I'd like to
streams.
point out in your Tower of Pleasure analogy, Ewan is the tip. I have become the shaft. And Ben is the recently shorn balls.
I don't know. I'm looking at the way the four of us are laid out.
Moving swiftly, I'm changing the layout for next week. So we're going to be dotted everywhere. I'm very,
It's not just
very
the
upset
layout,
about
Luke.
this analogy.
That's not the problem.
I'm changing cast. It's terrible.
Anyway, hello. I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was all right. Now I'm fine. I don't know where to go. I'll tell you where. It might not be any better. Tell us about Anna, please.
Anna is the ship's mechanic, and she built it in an effort to rehabilitate herself through metaphor and activity. And she's pleased to not be on her home planet anymore. She's brought her love of her life, or at least her love of the last 3 days with her, and is excited to, frankly, not be doing crime with Pratzos now. Ta-da! Everything's fine with her. She's great.
That was a lot of crime we were doing the Pratzos. There's about two days worth of crime.
I think we were thinking about a lot of crime.
There's
I'm
a
not
lot
sure how
of
much we actually managed.
Not very much at all. You didn't at all. And
No.
another of your crew did an awful lot of crime. But you yourself, I think, were mostly making love, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put a man like
Criminally.
Antonio in front of Anna, she's not going to say no.
Well, that is very true. She's insatiable. And speaking of someone else who is insatiable, he is...
And loves telling a joke, by the way, everyone.
he
Ben
does.
loves telling a
He
joke.
is. He's the man to go to if you want
The
to get someone to tell a
comedian of
joke.
the gang.
He is the comedian of the gang. He is the smartest man in any room and the gang. He lives his entire life, as you can see in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, and is flanked at all times by half a dozen topless and heavily oiled Eastern European men that carry the curtain around behind him wherever he goes, even at the pub. That's what we look at down the pub. He is the magnificent. Magnificent's not good enough. What's better than magnificent? The awe-inspiring Ben.
Resplendent?
Resplendent Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes, desperately trying to live up to the intro now, of course. But yes, I'm fine.
Good. I'm glad. And I forgot to ask Anna. I might come back to you in a second. But first, Mac, if there was a smell or taste that reminded you of our last adventure, what would Mac's be?
I'm guessing it would be the special whiskey from the unlabeled bottle in Francine's Viper Bar.
Now, tell us about Mac and why that might be a nice memory for him.
Mac is a, shall we use the word retired military man? He left under a bit of a cloud, shall we say, and kicked around a few dive bars and things like that, looking for something to occupy himself and keep his otherwise seething rage under control, and blundered into these two, who have been so far quite terrible at keeping him out of situations in which violence is the upshot.
I'm not sure
Clearly
you
our fault.
pin that badge on us, frankly.
Max gaslighting us already.
Right?
You can't blame me. You picked up the cat.
Oh my god.
Is this the literal cat or is Mac the cat? Is this a metaphor? I'm confused.
Is he the cool jazz cat? Cool jazz cat of the Alkonost.
So I'll go back to you, Anna. I'm sorry, because I missed you out on this question. As the one member of...
I'm not sure you want me to answer it.
As well, remembering that that young children watch this stream, And being the one member of the crew that isn't Bill, who isn't a homicidal maniac, what is Anna's favourite PG smell or taste from their last adventure?
It would be the special sauce at the noodle bar.
Oh, the chairman's special sauce.
Yeah.
All right, and how you doing? You want some of the chairman's special sauce? Lovely,
Oh, you know
lovely,
I love
lovely.
it.
Right.
Nice and hot, mate.
Slather it over those noodles, darling.
See, I kept it clean, people. I can do that.
You did good work. Hey, Spez, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Things are heating up now. We got Crit, we got Spez. There's some good stuff coming our way. Speaking of which, should we do some adventuring?
Let's.
I know it's, we could have strung that out for another hour, but I suppose we'd better do some, haven't we?
Yeah.
So for those that are watching...
Hi, Chav Hunter. That's a name.
Hunter. Is that a name or a profession or a hobby? I don't know.
Cool. I mean, it covers a lot of bases, doesn't it?
In England, it could be one of a few things. That's
like sock fiddler, to be fair.
Oh, the two of you are best friends already.
I know.
We're playing this game tonight. We're playing Orbital Blues. It's published by Soul Muppet, and it's a Sleaney, Clark, and Cox production. And look on the screen. That is the expansion. During the break, we'll ping up a link again for you to go and buy it. Look, there it is as well. Look at that. They're doing their Kickstart now with the expansion, but with the expansion you can also buy the original game and all sorts of stuff. It's all great. So click on, there's a dizzying array of options, some coming in video cassette boxes, which I kind of really want. So we'll look at that.
And it's worth mentioning that these books, I mean, there are loads and loads and loads of like rule books and different games on the market, but these books are so beautifully produced. They have an actual artwork, like a proper grown-up artwork budget, and they put so much love and care and just devotion into building the sense of how this game should feel when you read the rule books. They're beautiful. They're really, really lovely. And I'd say that if we weren't getting paid.
We say it anyway, don't we?
They're honestly, they're beautiful books.
Check the VODs. We've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Anyway, so there you go. Links are in the Discord. You're welcome to click on them. That's our affiliate links. So if you want to buy anything from the Soul Muppet site, do bear in mind that we get just a small tip when you do that through that link there. And otherwise, have a grand old time.
Nice. Right. Grand old times incoming. Can all of you grab your D6s ready for this evening? Get your brains working, your sense of emo emotions bubbling under the surface. Memories of lost dreams and failures and mistakes you've made.
God, I thought this was meant to be role-playing.
Break them back to the surface. I know.
Too close.
Too close. This is why you guys are
You
so
don't
good
know,
at it.
man.
That's why you're so good at it. Because you're just, it's beautiful. Right, here we go.
Right, cheers.
Cheers to you all. Captain Bill Raven gazed down at the glossy brochure for the third time before squinting through the Alkonost viewport at the reef of asteroids just a few kilometres ahead and slightly below them. This can be right. So he treated himself to a fourth look at the Olalego corporate brochure, boldly calling in large snazzy block capitals for miners, belters, traders and engineers to join the company and move to Olalego town, number 20, for an exciting new adventure today. Sure, the average age of the brochures, leaflets and magazines at the Waypoint filling station and diner 45 was probably pushing a decade old, but this one had still looked the most promising for John Rogers and Jesse Rhodes to shift the highly illegal grease they'd left Sutler System carrying and to make as close to the 5-credit street value as possible. Olalego were promising extra leave to all those who worked extra hours, and grease certainly helped you do that, and helped you to carry heavier loads, and to need fewer rest breaks, and to punch harder in a bar fight when you were coming off the high. That was why the crew made the decision to divert to this pissant star system with nothing in it except Dead End Planet Numero Uno, and Dead End Planet Numero Dos, and this certain reef of asteroids that lay below them in the cold, eternal darkness of space. And yet, Hey Mac, come check this out. Something's not right. Captain Bill pulled at the collar of his battered old jacket in frustration. as he heard his ex-military crewmate Mac Guffin mumble some kindly words to the ship's pregnant cat Tum Tum McPuff III, and heard her feet lightly hit the floor. Mac's seat creaked a little, and a few seconds later, Bill felt his fellow crewmate's presence looming over him. Mac, down there. Does that look like Olalego Town number 20 to you? Bill saw Mac lean forward to get a closer look at both the brochure and the asteroids below. Bloody hell, Bill. If it has, then it's seen better days, that's for sure. False advertising, that is. Below them, Olalego Town 20 lay, bolted onto the surface of several asteroids, but nothing like the well-lit, relatively modern hive of activity in the brochure. No transporters darting between the different asteroids, ferrying workers and ores to and fro. Indeed, if it wasn't for the fact they'd fortunately approached it from the exact same angle as the big central brochure image was taken, it'd be hard to see that it was the same place at all. One of the asteroids that once seemed to provide well-lit and almost cheery housing containers was totally dark and seemingly untouched in years. Another two asteroids with obvious mine entrances appeared deserted. A few small barges left floating and chained to mooring posts like a ghost town, because it is important to chain and strap things down. Only one asteroid still seemed to have light and power. The asteroid the brochure proudly claimed to be Central Plaza, with a rough walkway hewn into the rock and several lit but shabby buildings clinging to the asteroid's back like barnacles. With no oxygen or gravity outside of the buildings, which were sealed and installed with artificial gravity and oxygen, according to the jaunty brochure at least, the crew of the Alkonost weren't expecting a summery promenade by a beautiful river. But even still, this place seemed too quiet, too empty. However, the independent miners who had answered their hail as they entered the system had told them they'd find a cheap drink there and an even cheaper meal on Olalego Town number 20, while they were waiting for John and Jesse to make a deal for the grease. In fact, after a short conversation with the independent miners, John and Jesse had jumped into the runabout with the crew's new ally, the brooding, streetwise and sometimes violent Reno Snake gang member Antonio. He was going along with the two of them to keep those two, their shared investment and the ship's runabout safe. Offered a better price for the drugs by the independent miners, who were currently in orbit around one of the planets, the three of them had blasted off a couple of hours ago and wouldn't be back to the Alkonost for a while yet. So that left just the three of them, Bill Raven, Matt Guffing, and down tinkering and engineering, her second favourite place to tinker, the ship's engineer, anarchist. And with no suitable spacesuit for a pregnant cat, half an hour later, it was just the three of them stepping out of the hatch of a very carefully positioned Alkonost and onto the surface of the large asteroid. Their suits patched up, creasing with every movement against the webbing, the boots overly heavy and awkward with the artificial gravity turned on. The helmets surprisingly small, light, and with a clear front panel. But these were suits built for maintenance and salvage, and without the armour or protection for combat. As they left the ship, they'd switched their suit comms to local, meaning only the three of them could hear each other, unless they switched them to the public channel. And with only the sound of their own and each other's breathing in their ears, much preferable to the tinnitus encouraging silence of the vacuum around them, the crew looked towards the one lit walkway carved into the rock ahead of them, and towards the sign, clearly once proud, well polished, and proclaiming Olalego Town number 20, but now tarnished, broken, and with its former name spray painted over with a new moniker, Nameless. Bill sighed wearily. This was finally it. They'd reached it, the arse end of the universe, and he couldn't even take his new motorbike out for a ride. And that, dear friends, is where we begin this evening.
Anna presses the button. I'm assuming there's a button somewhere that they have to press to activate the radio. And as she takes her first step onto the gangway, she says, I'm really sorry, guys. Carries on walking.
What are you sorry about?
She turns on the radio again and doesn't say anything, and you hear a very definite. And after a couple more, she said, "I forgot to talc up my seat before I put it on."
Okay. These things are sent to try us. So, Bill, what are we doing here? I mean, are we going down or what?
Well, we're getting some food and drink, aren't we? I'm fed up of rice and noodles.
Yeah, I suppose it
Meat
does
would
look
be
like a
nice.
place that has a high-quality restaurant.
Well, at least something, that's close to meat would make a nice change from what we've got on board.
Sure.
Speaking of what we've got on board, did anyone remember to pull the lever before we left?
No, I didn't. And I think pulling it now might be a mistake. It's not the way we want to introduce ourselves to these people, right?
No, yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than if things go badly, because we haven't. There could be a big some kind of explosion, kaboom. But I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, bound to be. We could ask the engineer. What's the downside of not pulling the lever? I mean, given that we know there's a downside to pulling it, what's the downside of not pulling it?
Eventually, we'll just backflow with shit. But we're fine for now. I mean, there's only been 7, 8. Wait, no, 11 people. No, we probably need to empty it. They might want to buy it from us, though. There are some systems that could really use nitrogen-rich poop.
Let's not open with that.
Sure. I mean, I think you need to really get over your sensitivity when it comes to the whole poop thing, Captain. Anyway.
Can you roll an observation for me, please?
Of course.
Certainly can.
Is this poop related? I hope not.
I've been hoping
that's a 7 for me.
Mine might be. It's a 3.
7 for me.
7. Okay. So as you walk past the site for Nameless, you see I guess what would loosely be called the plaza laid out in front of you, but it's quite shadowy. There's a few lights beaming onto the space to make it safe for people to walk along. And each of the buildings does appear to be lit, signs lit somewhat. But from what you can tell, as far as people there, it's very empty. There seems like there'd be life inside the buildings perhaps, but you can't see anyone around. However, it does look similar enough from the brochure pictures that the three of you poured over before coming out that you can probably point out the different buildings, even though they look ramshackle, dirty, much less pleasant than on the brochure, of course. So with that, I'll bring up a map for you. There it is.
Anna looks back and she says, you know what's amazing, Bill, is you did promise that after the shithole that was Reno 12, you would take me to see somewhere really special. And I got to say, this is significantly nicer than Reno 12.
Well, exactly.
As you stand at the end, you are at the end near the crematorium, as it were, on your right. And this is hewn into the rock. As you look above you, you're seeing, it's strange, because you're seeing the space sky, as it were, but with many different asteroids slowly moving around above you. Some passing over, especially ones that aren't moving so much or moving at the same pace as you, just a few hundreds of meters above your head. It gives a strange mixture of being in the wide open, but also a claustrophobia as well. That there's almost a partial sky at an unnerving distance above you. The path itself, because of the shape of the asteroid, it falls off somewhat past the buildings to the side as the asteroid, curves around under its natural shape. And although it looks flat in the image, of course, I can't do 3D imaging. It's a little bit up and down.
Mm.
So it's quite a lonely place. The sign that has Nameless Population 260, the 260 has been spray painted through a few times to show decreasing numbers.
No oxygen and a tumbling population. You really know how to show a girl a good time there, Captain.
Is it our responsibility to increase that as we come onto planet, or does that only count if we live here?
As someone with the only functioning uterus in the group, I'm saying no.
And with no Antonio to be seen.
Yeah.
I bow to your expertise then. Shall we?
Yes, please lead me through this paradise of temptation and loads of oxygen.
And look, it's not that bad. There's a crematorium.
It's literally in pieces.
There's no crematorium on what was that last place we went to? I forgot the name.
Reno 12.
That's in character
Oh, so.
towards Anna. Because that's where she grew up.
I've seen worse.
Yeah,
I've seen-
exactly. See, Max on board.
I've seen the
Seen
inside
worse.
of a notoriously unpleasant prison, and it wasn't as bad as this.
Your worst weren't war zones, were they, Mac?
Depends on your definition of war, really. Angry people more than actual war, but sure. Yeah, some of them were pretty unpleasant places. I mean, most of them weren't all that unpleasant before we arrived, but by the time we left, they were pretty rubbish.
Yeah, that was my next question. Look, I'm sure there's a top-notch place to get some food here.
Yes.
Well, let's just hope it isn't the crematorium or the filtration plant.
Dining in the lap of luxury with our helmets on tonight.
I have to say, though, there's apparently a brewery.
Oh. Well, that changes things. Evening IMT.
Hey, monkeys. Thanks for joining us.
Monkey Tails.
Join them on a beautiful location. It's the most wonderful location we've ever been at.
It's true. Anna spent the last 10 minutes talking about how beautiful it is.
Dice. Hope you had an amazing session tonight, by the way. Hope it was absolutely fun. Hope you're all still alive as well. No one got killed off this week.
I'm kind of hoping somebody got killed off. Sorry, that's mean. Oh, rude.
Let's hope that karma doesn't catch up with you.
Oh, it already is. Look where we are.
That was half in game and half out. Sorry, couldn't make my mind up.
Anna just she's clearly not that thrilled, to be honest. And she had taken the promise of better climbs somewhat seriously. And so she just starts strolling down the street, just looking around for any kind of debris or abandoned vehicles or machinery or just any clue of what the hell's going on here. But she won't go past the parlour. She'll walk to the parlour and then stop.
Could you please roll for me then? 2 things.
Of course.
You're going to need to roll a... Let's go for a savvy roll and an observation roll, please. Let's do observation first. No,
observation first?
Yeah, please.
6.
And then a savvy, please.
2d6 plus 2. Oh! Sorry, I'm rolling in roll 20, everyone, so you know I'm not cheating.
That's why we hear a little ping. We know the
13!
Nice. So, thanks for the sub.
Cry, you champion!
Thank you.
Legend, mates. We love you too. You've been around in the engineering world long enough to know equipment that has been left to rot and equipment that is still used, however rusty and beaten down it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
And around the edge of the mines, it does look like the equipment that's there suggests that this is still at least a vaguely functioning mine. Not as much equipment as you would expect at a full-fledged mine, but it appears that there are still people, at least a few people, mining it. The crematorium appears to be in full working order, from what you can tell. There does appear to be, you can't hear it, but almost a vibration from inside that suggests it is working. Going past the alleyway, what else I can tell you that role is going past the alleyway to your right as you go along. And the other two of you will know that as well. You've all seen them. They are like small cabins that are for housing. They're not very exciting. They are small cabins for workers. They wouldn't give you a wonderful life. They'd give you a bed, a table, a little bit of spare room, but very basic. And they're dark. There's a couple of lights here. It's lit, which suggests they're used, but from what you can tell, it's quite dark. The observation check was too low though, and all this looking around, you sort of miss this small piece of debris rolling across the path in front of you, almost like a tumbleweed, drifting across in the night, and you trip over it in a sudden moment and crash to your knees somewhat, feeling your breath heavy in your.
Ow! Ow! For fuck's sake! Also, I grew up in shit like that. You see that my family we're not from Reno. Nobody's from Reno 12, but my parents, with the shiny brochure, "Come work for us, we'll make your lives amazing" bullshit. We were given one of these with furniture and enough shit to live on a planet for like 6 weeks while they built the house we were going to live in, and it reminds that it's like one of those. But they've been here longer than we were ever in ours.
Bill turns to Mac and says that, forgetting that obviously we're on a channel between all three of us, that trip's not going to help a mood, is it?
It's probably not. No.
The brochure looked good, to be fair. Look. Pulls it out of a pocket.
There's really just one problem with the brochure. It's worth significantly more than the town.
I'll keep hold of it then. Come on, let's catch her up.
All right. We're going to join Anna.
Anna's also not that used to wearing a spacesuit and being completely in an enclosed environment. She's only really been planet-side in places with, I don't know, crazily oxygen for people to breathe. So she's not entirely thrilled with her existence. She's gone from cozy in bed with the man of her dreams to cold and now a bit worried that she's scuffed at the knees of a very thin and worryingly tiny suit on a planet that's not a planet, that has no reason to have people on it, let's be honest. She's just not thrilled in any way. And as she steps up, she nods at Mac in his spacesuit and says, bit tight in the crotch, isn't it?
Story of my life.
Yeah, it shows. Well, should we get in this
I'm
parlor?
sorry, what shows?
Nothing.
Okay.
God. Just and she just walks off and looks at the parlor. She stops in front of the parlor door.
The parlour appears to be, from what you can tell, and quite proudly proclaims to be Nameless's bar. It's its tavern. It's its pub. It's got quite a nice sign above it at the park, quite oldie worldy, and it's got a few signs that have been screwed onto it, advertising a whole range of beers. Some have been and other alcohol. Some have been half buried by others that have been screwed on top, clearly as those have long run out and new cheaper brands have taken their place, until it appears that some very local brands, i.e. brewed just down the way, seem to be the predominant brands remaining. By the door is very much an airlock, and there appears to be quite an industrial inset light setting that seems to have a red or green, and just a sign next to it says only open when green. And there's sort of a couple of very thick glass windows there, but they're very misted up. You can't really see. You see there's light and movement inside, but you can't see details.
Is the airlock big enough for all three of us to fit in at the same time?
It does say maximum 5 people.
Mac points at the light and says, "This is definitely not a good place for the colorblind."
Anna just opens the door and steps in.
I liked it, mate. I liked it. I think Anna's warming up as well. And Bill follows.
Sure. Yep. Straight in.
It's I'm not going to describe it much. It's very basic inside. It's very space chic, i.e. made by the cheapest designer, put together by whoever offered the cheapest amount, and literally just has a sign saying "press for doors."
Bill looks at Anna and gestures around. Look, see? It's getting better already. This place is chic, some would say.
Did you say cheap?
Pushes the button. So yeah. Very chic.
Right. Yes. Yes. But Mac will stand there with his arms folded, sort of just waiting for things to happen around him.
Anna switches her comms to the global channel and says, coming in. Waits for a reply.
There is no reply as the air cycles. So the door automatically closes behind you. There's a pause of a couple of seconds. And then you feel and you can see that hissing air coming in around your ankles. And the light inside is red for a bit. And then pings green. And there's an automated voice that rings out. You may now remove your helmets. Welcome to the parlour.
Mac will watch Bill remove his helmet before doing the same.
Bill will wait before someone else removes their helmet.
Anna goes, oh, for fuck's sake, and just takes her helmet off.
That's the perfect summing up of our party composition. And then Bill will take it off.
And then Mac.
I didn't tell you whether she was okay.
We're all dead. Thanks for playing.
Let's roll up some new characters. Wonderful. That was the tale of the Alkonost. This t-shirt's now useless. You all breathe in a sort of air that you haven't breathed in, Anna, since you were in the penitentiary. It has that metallic, recycled smell that's been through the same pipes, through the same processor 1,000 times, where 1 billion farts and burps and bad breath smells
of men
has been scrubbed out best they can, but over the years you can't quite get rid of that tint on the edge. But it's breathable, so that's good.
She retches a couple of times. More for the memories it dredges up than the actual quality of the air. She's not having a good day. She just sort of leans heavily against the wall and tries to quell her nausea a bit.
I've got bad news. When you put your helmet back on, that air, pretty much all you're going to be smelling.
What are you complaining? It smells like victory. Okay.
You
two Is that the name of the
little
beer.
rays of sunshine.
Is that what we're on?
Yeah, I shall wander over towards the bar, please.
There is a button still to press for you to get out of the airlock to get to the
Oh,
bar.
I'm sorry.
If you wish to, you can stay in
Yeah,
the
I
airlock.
will. I
I'm
will
happy in the
press
airlock.
the button, please.
It flickers from red to green, and the door opens, and you're now free to head to the bar. I'm going to bring up a little map for you. A little picture for you, and tell you of all the majesty of the parlour. Because you step into the parlour, and as you step in, there is the sound of a piano playing to one side, which
Is it slightly out of tune?
oh, absolutely, a bit
Play
clanky,
Victorian standards.
and
Yeah.
just like that, just whatever that sound was.
The
The
Milky Bar
second,
Kid.
That was my phone. I'm sorry.
the second the three of you step inside, the piano stops, and
Oh, and then there's some old guy spit into a little bucket, and it goes. Bing!
well, a dozen sets of eyes all turn to look at you at the strangers that have entered the parlour. The parlour is set up very much almost like an old west pub, but with a modern twist. So the bar and tables are wood. The bar stools are metallic, but with a sort of a velvet seat. A lot of them you can see have worn down somewhat, with the same buttocks sitting on them for many, many years. They're quite threadbare, a lot of them. Around the bar is some lighting, an array of bottles, some spaces where clearly they're short on stock these days. A few beer pumps are there. There are round tables arranged downstairs, and there's like a mezzanine floor up a large wooden staircase, and you can see a few more up there with people sat around. And the round tables, you can see the larger ones appear to have some card games going on, some gambling happening. And more towards the front of the parlour, there are smaller square and circle tables, a few that have clearly been re-put together, fixed, reclaimed from other buildings, so they don't look quite right. But with a few people just sat around just drinking. Everyone with their suits, a lot of them sort of half undone, tied around their waists, with work clothes, just casual t-shirts and things underneath, and all looking to you. The walls covered in posters, mirrors, and signs. It's quite an assault, and very unexpected compared to what was outside. You couldn't think of more chalk and cheese.
Anna waves, rattles the tools on her belt with one hand, and says, "I'm Anna. I'm your problem. You have these bozos to thank for it. What can I drink?"
Mac will stride over to the bar and say, "Anything good on tap?"
As the three of you, are you heading forward with them, Bill? Before I push on, I know Bill's his own man. Sorry, Bill's his own man after all. He's the captain.
He isn't. Well, he's mine, but yeah, sure. Bill will, he'll follow. He'll follow behind the two of them.
Oh no, Anna's just staying by the door.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Bill will
she's-
follow Matt.
and in fact, she's gonna
Splitting
get
apart
out her mobile communication device, and she's gonna tap out an angry text message to Antonio. "This place fucking sucks. I miss you."
You get the blib that it's gone. There's no reply as of yet. The other two of you, as you walk over, seeing you approach the bar, and sort of as you ask Mac, people appear to sort of calm down a little bit. There's a little pause, and then the chatter restarts, and the guy at the piano starts up again, playing his off-tune brand of whatever the plinky plonky music is. It might have been a classic back in the day, but certainly not now.
Is it knees up, mother brown?
Oh, if only. There's a man behind the bar. I've got a picture for him, in fact, because I'm feeling so.
Oh,
with my
okay.
pictures. And he says, not seen you guys around here before. Are you new in town? Welcome to Nameless.
Thank you. Kind of you. Yes, fairly new. Can I roll an observation check, please?
You certainly can. Is there anything in particular you're looking out for?
I'm actually mostly scanning the other people in the parlour.
Okey-dokey. Yeah, roll 2d6 for me, please.
I'm guessing with a 5, I can tell there are other people in the parlour.
There are indeed other people. They appear to be humans, from what you can tell. And some are sitting and drinking, some are sitting and drinking and gambling, and some are just gambling. And one of them's playing a piano. And one of them's angrily typing out a text message by the door.
And acting like she doesn't know you.
Right, it's a good job I checked.
The man sees you sort of pause for a second, and he says, sorry, you wouldn't know me. My name's Jody. I'm the barman here at the parlour.
Did you say there was a picture of him somewhere, Luke?
There he is. He's just popped up. My name's Jody.
There he
I'm
is.
the barman here.
Hi, Jody.
I would ask, what would you want? But I guess you don't know what we got. Anything in particular, sirs?
If you've got something on the pump, that might be interesting.
Are you an ale man or a lager man?
I'm tempted
He
to
loves
say.
a knob.
I'm tempted to say yes, but ale preferentially.
We've got 2 ales here. We've got our system ale that's brewed just down the road. In fact, Nameless ale. It's an ale, just about. And we've got Mikey's bought in. Everyone knows Mikey's.
Everyone does indeed.
I would like to warn you though that due to the way things are, Nameless is just $2 dues, whereas Mikey's is 10. We do have some delivery issues, so we have to charge a lot more.
You know what? When in Rome, as they say. Yeah, I'll have a I'll have a nameless ale, please.
Very good. And you, sir? He looks up and down the battered jacket.
Bill looks around. Have you got anything a little bit harder?
Told you he likes knob.
Well, aside from some of the minors, sir, we've got a few spirits, sir. We have Mr. Smith's gin, if you're interested in that. We've got Shipmate's dark rum. We've got the Montoya Blue Label vodka. They're all quite pricey, sir. Or we have the local, the Miners Special. It's a moonshine we brew up out the back of the brewery.
Well, as my friend said when in Nameless, give me give me 2 fingers of the moonshine.
Oh, very good, sir. This we often say that it's an hour per finger, sir.
That's not the first time he's been told that.
You drinking, Anna?
Now, we $4 dues, please, sir. 4 for
No,
you.
and one for.
And you, ma'am?
Not in the mood,
What
but
takes your
thanks.
fancy?
The moonshine, how is it? Like, is it made like with the engine grease and the old fusion drives, or do you do something else?
No, madam. It's all legit. That's what I'm told, anyway, madam. I've never seen it being made. I just pour the drinks, madam. That's me.
We used to make some on my home planet. That's all, but we would do potatoes and engine grease and then filter it out using the old spinny drive thing.
Oh, I've not seen a potato in years, madam. Sounds wonderful.
Well,
and in her prison, down the back of the radiators.
for fuck's sake, she just like walks back into the airlock, puts her helmet on.
No, whoa, wait. Whoa. And Bill will throw $4 dues at the bar and head off after Anna.
I'll have your drink ready for you, sir, when you return.
Mac's going to sit down at the bar.
0 fucks given.
You see Jody pour up a couple of fingers of the moonshine, just plops it on the bar, on the seat that would be next to Mac, assuming that Bill would be coming back.
Mhm.
Pours you up a glass of Nameless. He's a very good barman. The head looks just about the right height, i.e. not very much at all. Just enough. And slides it over to you. So, what brings you here, sir? To the Nameless. Not many people come here, well, at all, really. Not for the
You
last
shocked
few years,
me.
at least.
Yeah.
Things are what they are. Things used to be better, sir, but, you know, we ride with the punches, so it were.
Yeah, it's good. I approve of resilience. Yeah, we're sort of between jobs, if you know what I mean, and we're just swinging by, seeing what's here.
Well, there's not much. You wouldn't really call it a holiday destination. There's you can get a drink here. There's you can get some food down the diner. I'm sure. Well, that's probably it, really. I suppose you could look at people being burnt at the crematorium. I suppose one of the miners died yesterday, and I think he's being burnt today by the by our resident crematorium worker at some point.
Just, I mean, apropos nothing at all. In general, do the population of Nameless go to watch bodies being burned as the major source of entertainment?
Well, there's not much entertainment to be had here, but even here, watching Goto burn bodies doesn't rank in the top 5 at least.
Right. I mean, I was just wondering, is there any gaming in town, any action?
Well, sir, there's certainly action. There's right here. If you look around the table, there's some tables that are run by some fine croupiers. We've got some locals that are specialists. You would say they head up the gambling here, sir. They're very willing to take your money and maybe give you back a $1 deal or so if you've got time and money to waste.
Yeah. Well, it's worth bearing in mind. I'll take a sip of the ale. Is it any good?
Long answer, short answer. How specific do you want me to go?
Let's go with a really short answer.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay. Sort of take a decent draft of it, put it back down on the bar, and go. Refreshing.
It's very kind of you to say, sir. This is not something I would drink, but customers always right, so they say. Are you planning to stay in Nameless long, sir? He starts doing the stereotypical polishing a glass.
I can't imagine we'll be here for very long. No, probably not. We're sort of here as a crew, you see, and though we don't strictly have a sort of democratic arrangement, we try to make sure that everybody's desires are reasonably well taken care of, and one of our crews made it pretty clear that she's not completely on board with the ambience of your fine town.
Could all three of you please roll a savvy, please?
Sure.
Mine's a flat 6.
Oh.
That's 11.
Oh.
10.
10. Bill is still sort of approaching Anna to try and lure her back in. Anna sort of turned back and is observing the room through her helmet.
Yeah.
She notices a quite a tough-looking guy wandering down the stairs, trying to act casual but with a clear interest in Mac. And Mac, you've spotted him at the corner of your eye.
Where are his hands?
His hands are by his side. They're not hidden. They're not like they're concealing.
He's not reaching.
No, he doesn't seem to be reaching.
Okay.
He's just sort of walking quite casually, like he owns the place, if that makes sense.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's wandering over. Mac, you've seen him at the corner of your eye, but being the guy you are, I don't think it'd be a stretch to say you're still focusing on Jodie as if you've not seen him at the first moment. Until I hand back over to you, at least. So.
I'm obviously going to make sure that I don't lose sight of this guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let on that I'm paying attention to him.
Cool. He continues wandering down. Jodie appears to have spotted him and automatically reaches for the Montoya vodka.
Okay.
Pours a glass and a large glass, leaves it on the bar and goes to make himself busy elsewhere.
Which side of the moonshine is the glass he's poured?
The far side. You've approached more to the left side of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Bill's moonshine was one across from you.
Yep.
And then halfway between there and the end of the bar has been where the vodka's been put.
Okay, so if he does in fact steer towards his drink, which I'm assuming it will be, then I've still got a bit of range on him. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I shall, when I no longer have a Jodie to look at, because he's busy himself doing other things, I shall turn a little bit more towards the newcomer.
Anna, are you happy just to see this unravel?
Well, Anna wants to say to Bill, I appreciate that my mood is not the sunniest and most fun I've ever been in, but I'm not entirely sure it suits any of us particularly well to out me as an ex-convict as soon as we enter a new bar.
Bill, obviously distracted, but was trying to put his helmet on to communicate. Yeah. I'm sorry. I spoke without thinking. It's a captain's prerogative. It won't happen again. And I understand. And he pulls the leaflet out again. I understand this place is not, what it promised to be. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's any worse than the last place we were in. We're not likely to pick up a couple of bombers. It's difficult. It's difficult when when you're separated from someone you really care about, and I can imagine that must be really, really tough. Really tough for you.
Yeah, and you decided to make that easier by telling everybody I was in prison.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. He'll be back soon. And look, I suggest we make the best of it. I'll buy you a drink. But at the very least, we don't want to leave the psycho in the bar by himself.
Hey, it's another fun word you probably shouldn't say aloud in a new place.
Well, yeah, but it's okay because I've got my helmet on and we're over. He hasn't got his on, has he?
No, but Anna shows that she hasn't switched the radio channel away from global.
Yeah, but surely that doesn't matter. It's what Bill's on that matters, isn't it? When he's talking.
Sure.
Socks,
Anna,
could you please roll before you do that? I need to dive in before you carry on. Could you please roll a 2d6 nudge or grit, please?
+2. 8.
All this talk of you being imprisoned, and this is not the first time this has sort of been spoken about or come to your mind since you've been on Nameless. Just gives you that sense, which I think you've shown quite well, of just feeling awkward about that past and uncomfortable and worried about, that being a thing among people. Could you add a blues, please?
Up to 5.
Now, see, I helped.
Oh, out of character, I'm saluting you, my friend. In character, she is pissed off. She actually salutes him, really sarcastic, like an Arnold Rimmer salute. And then just shakes her head a bit and walks back into the bar. She rattles her tools and she says, okay, I'm a mechanic. I got nothing else to do. What needs fixing?
You get halfway to the bar with your tools all jangly, and as you get to there, you notice that the man that's wandered down the stairs has got close enough to Mac. He's seen you walking towards. He's clocked you as well. You're all newcomers, and he breaks out the sort of smile that someone that doesn't smile very often thinks should be a smile.
Yeah.
It looks awkward on his face. It's quite a grim face. So I'm just trying to write the redeem name of an NPC. It's quite a grim face. It's stony. It involves a broken nose. It involves a slight cauliflower ear and a very thick-set jaw. It is the face of a man who has probably very few reasons to smile in his life. But he tries, and he opens out his arms, and he says, visitors, welcome to the parlour.
I didn't know you were going to do an accent, Luke. That was cool.
Thank you very much. Yeah. He's not. This one's not a Brummie. It feels wrong.
I know.
Welcome. I'm not going. I nearly went like Dracula or something. Welcome. Hola.
Welcome, my friends.
Bill's changed his mind. Let's go.
Once you're here, you can
I want nothing to do with
leave.
this. Space vampires. No, thank you.
1, 2, 3 drinks.
4 vodka, 5.
Okay.
New friends, welcome to the parlour. My name is Reeve Ditchwater, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Please,
Count
Jody,
Reeve
come back.
Ditchwater.
Jody, come back. 4 more drinks for our friends. The same again for each of them.
Breve, B-R-E-V-E.
R-E-E-V-E.
Reeve
Ditchwater. There he is. Pictures up. A lovely looking man.
He looks like your man from Dark Places.
He does, doesn't he? And I pulled up a very different graphic. I always pulled him up the same. R.I.P. the dead man.
Reeve.
Reeve Ditchwater.
Hi, Reeve. Nice to...
Mac nods and says, well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Not at all. Hello to you, Miss. I didn't catch your name.
It's because I haven't said it yet. She walks up to him and offers a hand and says, I'm Anna.
Lovely to meet you, Anna. He reaches to awkwardly kiss the back of the glove.
Anna sort of tips her head a bit and goes, really? We can't just... Do you need anything fixing?
We can talk business in a moment if you wish to. You, sir, with your marvellous jackets. He holds his hand out to Bill.
Takes his helmet off, holds his hand out back and shakes it.
Oh, you still have your helmet, friend. If you look along that wall, there's a rack for people to hang their helmets and their suits if they so wish. You can carry them with you, of course, but we want everyone to feel comfortable at the parlour.
Thanks. I'm comfortable with mine. I'll tuck it under an arm and shake his hand.
And you, sir, whose powerful physique first got my attention. And you are, he holds his hand out to you, Mac.
The name's Mac.
Mac. Nice to meet you, Mac. I see you've tried our local brew already. How do you think it is?
I think it tastes good value.
He goes to clap you on the shoulder. It's quite a firm clap. You can't tell if it's just totally done in jest, but or also half done to assert, a bit of his power, I guess.
Max, if he does that, Mac's going to do that thing where he sort of switches his attention to look at the arm that just slapped his shoulder very, very carefully, to try and make the guy feel a little bit uncomfortable about touching him.
Oh, I see you're not the touching type. That's okay, sir. That's okay. Well, the name's Reeve, and I hold, we could say, some sway around these parts with some friends of mine. If there's anything you want, I'm sure we can make your stay on Nameless comfortable and maybe even profitable. Please, I have a private table upstairs. Come and drink. Come and drink with me. I'll pay for your drinks for the rest of the day.
Hospitable of you. Thank you.
Oh, think nothing of it. Think nothing of it.
Hear that? Hear that? Comfortable, Bill will say to Anna.
Mac will stand up, glance across towards the other two, picking up his beer. But as he glances across to the other two, he'll nod to them in a way that implies that, you know, I'm going with this guy, but you know,
But you're not going to have fun.
Let's not let the guard down. All right.
Yeah, no, Anna's in the mood to completely trust a boorish thug who's immediately attempted to assert dominance and is now inviting her for free drinks upstairs. This sounds like exactly her thing.
Ah, splendid, splendid. And you, with your wonderful jacket? Oh, maybe I'll win that off you later. Maybe you'll win mine.
Bill will take his hands out of his pockets and knock back the moonshine that he'd already bought and nod.
Splendid, splendid. Jody, bring up a bottle of everything. One of each. Bring them up. We're drinking on me tonight. Not that it matters whether it's day or night. Hey, friends. He sort of elbows Bill quite hard in the ribs. As I'm a joke.
Well, it's the first time I've ever been to Nameless and had a bottle of everything.
Well, you know what they say about Nameless? Come in any time you want, you just never leave. Come on, friends, up we go. I'm joking, of course.
Anna follows him upstairs. Doesn't sit down straight away. Waits until everybody else is settled. And is prepared to speak.
Are there multiple tables up there? Are there multiple people up there? Is he alone at his table?
So, as you go up the rather ornate wooden staircase, I'm just going to mute a second so I'm going to cough on you. Very professional. The three of those had a horrible sound.
It was extraordinary.
I'll just flick my helmet off for that one. As you go up the ornate wooden staircase, it has the wood on the side and the rail with the carpet just down the middle. Lovely,
Okay.
lovely, lovely. It's very worn away, but it does suggest times of a strange elegance for mine. You get up to the top, and there is indeed, let's say, 3 tables that are set out for cards. Maybe a couple of them have a couple of people playing at them. They seem to be slightly different. Downstairs had that sort of much more common vibe, whereas up here, from what you can tell from the chips that are on the table, the piles are maybe a little bit bigger. And the people are drinking slightly more fancy drinks. But, you know, it's still a mining town, so it's not that sophisticated. There's another couple of small tables you couldn't see from below that have, one's empty, one has a couple of drinkers on. And you can hear up here much more the air recycler, and the air seems almost a little bit fresher up here because it's not bothering everyone to get down. His table is at the back. There's 2 more private booth tables. There's a couple of people at the next one along, but he takes you to one by himself.
Okay. Can I roll a proper observation check on him as we go?
You can roll 2d6, please.
Are you looking for weapons?
I'm looking for
Under those very tight leather trousers.
I'm looking. Not exactly for weapons. That's a 7. Like,
Don't they all wear tight leather
not
trousers?
exactly for weapons, exactly. As much as places where I'd have to keep an eye on in case he did have a weapon on him.
Places you would have to keep an eye on in his tight leather trousers.
See, Ewan's into it.
Well,
Oh, Mac is getting desperate, it must be said. With that roll, there's no escape as such. It's a closed enclosed space, so there's no fire escape. There's no places to go. There were 2 stairways, one either side, so there are 2 ways down at least. There's another rack on the side that has a few people's helmets and suits sort of hung up on there. Like
Okay.
like a coat and a hat rack would be in our parlance. There's a couple of areas that you could probably get out of the way of projectile. You know, a couple of little corners, a little bits of cover. There's a bookshelf that appears to have books there more for show than anything else these days.
Right. Okay, then Mac will put his beer on the table, put his helmet down over the beer,
Old school.
settle down, and then say, "This your place?"
Reeve sort of slides in to the booth, beckons you to come slide in opposite him if you so wish, and then offers the other 2 spots, one either side, to Bill and Anna, if anyone wants to slide in next to Mac or next to Reeve. Please, friends. Sort of downs his vodka and sort of slides the glass to the edge of the table. Please, new friends, come and join us if you will. Come and join your friends.
Bill will slide in next to Reeve.
Ah, it's good to see you, friend. He gives you another little elbow in the ribs.
I'm just going to, not to be rude, but I'm still on the clock. I'm only an engineer, and I've been told that this is a work day, and so business before drinking for me, please, because I don't want to get fired. And he doesn't look like it in that terribly nice jacket, but my captain's actually kind of a dick, and I don't want to get punished.
Bill will back that up. He'll just go, it's true. But yeah, you are.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Don't
kind
drink,
of.
but have a seat, and he'll elbow.
Oh my
Reeve
God,
back.
are you serious? Are you actually going to tell her to sit down?
No.
I like your attitude, miss. You two, wonderful. Where is Jody? We can't talk. We can't talk with empty glasses. Jody, where are you? And you're sort of left waiting awkwardly as the barman.
While she's standing, can I do an observation check as well, specifically to look at what games are being played at the tables?
Of course you can. Do 2d6s, please.
Thanks. Roll. I keep forgetting the command. Anna's hoping that she's given off that I wouldn't trust this guy if I was drowning and he was the last man in the ocean look.
I recognise that look on her. It's not the first time.
I don't think you're the only one either.
Number
We're
7.
all on the same
She's got a
page.
7.
You can tell that one table up here is a game that's been played between the players without the need for a croupier of any kind. It's with cards, and another one they appear to be playing something with dominoes, but you wouldn't be able to place the game exactly.
Okay.
Reeve nods at Jody as he sort of lays out the bottles, and you do indeed get a selection of glasses. You see a Mr. Smith's gin, the Shipmates rum, the Montoya vodka. He's managed to put a few bottles of Mikey's there, if you so wish, and he scurries off again.
Evening, Russ.
Hey, Russ, thanks for joining us. Hey. Life is good, I hope.
So, Reeve, is this your place?
Oh, my place? No. I just like being here. I take a lot of interest in this, and let's just say I have business interest in this place as well. But the owner, no. Me and my friends like to hang out here, base ourselves here. I believe some people say safe space for us.
I'm pretty sure that's not what this is.
I understand. It reminds me of something. Can't quite put my finger on it, but it'll come to me.
Who is the owner here? What's their name?
Ownership's a fickle mistress, don't you think?
I guess that depends, but
It used to be run by the corporation, Lego. I don't know. He sort of catches a glimpse of your brochure out the edge of your suit. You might have heard of them, Lego. Maybe you're expecting Lego.
I know the name,
Lego.
not the company, but the name.
They used to own everything here, but a number of years ago, as the mine started finding less and less. Hey, lollygaggers!
Hi, gaggers!
Joining us.
Hey!
Oh my gosh!
What are you guys playing tonight? And we're Orbital Blues in, which I know that you guys play as well. So yes, anyone watching the likes Orbital Blues, follow. We should have said follow Monkey Tales. We love Monkey Tales. Do that as well. But also follow the lollygaggers. They play this and other really cool games as well. All the best people raid us. There's a big bit of a love in between the three. And thank you, because this is the first time we've jumped over 30 viewers on a stream, I think, which is very exciting. Even if only for a moment, that's very exciting.
That is epic.
Well, cheers. I'm drinking for all of you.
Hi, all of you.
Hi,
Big
guys.
Cheers to all of you. Thank you so much. I like it. What were you guys playing this evening? Anything good? Well, of course you're playing things good, but are you all still alive as well? Or was there death among you all? Speaking of death, Reeve looks at each of you.
Don't put it like that.
Sorry.
That's the second time you've had your life threatened.
I know.
At least.
I'm trying to do it subconsciously without being too straight down the line. Lego moved out a few years ago. Less and less has been found in the mines. We still have a bit of mining going down here. Oh, Frog, you absolutely legend!
Oh, thanks.
Gifts.
What a champ!
They've gone to good people. They've gone to good people as well. Kudos. That worked out well. The gift sub lottery worked out very nice.
Luke, did you get the NPC name by the way earlier?
I've got Froldcog. I've got Froldcog and Eddie's Flame and Grill. I'm on it.
Nice.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, as we're having a little moment. I really need to start giving gifts to the subscribers again. I need to get that started. So they moved out a few years ago, and they kind of left it to the people. I guess it wasn't profitable anymore. They upped and went and left all the running to us, I guess. And some of us have managed to take that responsibility more seriously. I've got me and two of my friends especially do the best we can to keep things running well. Especially the Parlour, which I'm sure you'll agree is a wonderful place.
Yeah, Honky Tonk Piano and Velvet Stalls. How anachronistic of you.
It's a classy place. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, it has that vibe of like an old ocean liner 15 years after it sank.
Those are the boom days, but life exists after the boom, right? You can't just bury your head in the shell like a bottom-dwelling mollusk. You need to rise up and be the shark. And that's kind of what we do. If people are short on money, short on things, we help them out, Get them back on their feet.
If people are short on money, you're the shark.
If people are short on money, I like to think we're the friend they need.
You're the loan sharks.
No. We're the friends. We where people were struggling to keep this place running, instead of worrying and being upset about it, we got things going again. and we help people out.
Your lone octopuses.
If you know,
You do what you can
Lone-
for the people.
Lone
I can appreciate
mollusks.
lone mollusks. That's a nice way of putting it. We
Mm.
and we provide. Yeah, if people want to gamble, they can gamble. If people want to drink, they can drink. If people want to eat, we make sure food comes through. And if people want a little bit extra here and there, we help make sure the shop, the store.
Cephalone
supplies.
pods. Beautiful. That's my best friend, people.
Ah, sweet, very, very strong.
That's epic,
That's
Melzog.
good.
I'm so proud of him for that. I can't tell you.
So is that how you're able to treat three random people off the street to such hospitality? A bit of gesture at the table.
At that question, Bill, because you're next to Reeve, notice movement from the other private booth that was next to you, and another figure walks around the corner, and I'm not going to make a roll for it because each of you noticed that he gives Reeve a bit of a look, and Reeve quietens up a little bit, and this gentleman smiles broadly. Now, this man can smile. This is not a wonky smile. This is a handsome man with a winning smile. His teeth are white. They are full. There's none missing. His stubble is perfect. His hair coiffed. And he has an easygoing style to him.
I wrote handsome toothy prick.
I wrote distinguished man, distinguished smile,
Distinguished gentleman.
You must be the newcomers. I heard the noise downstairs. Please, let me introduce myself. My name is Jameson Cook. He offers his hand to each of you if you wish to shake.
Jameson Cook,
who
did
will?
you say?
Jameson Cook.
Is that cook with an E?
No E.
Is it a cook with an I?
No I.
Is it a cook with a Y?
No Y.
Is it a cook with an R?
No R.
Is it cooked with an oven?
No oven.
Is it cook with a B?
No B.
No.
Welcome to our stream, guys. It's lovely to have you.
Aren't you glad you got gifted a sub?
Mac will indeed stick out a hand and shake it.
Bill will also.
It's that perfect handshake. You know the handshake of someone that is self-assured. It's strong. It's that sort of winning handshake. The one that you'd spend thousands of pounds on to go to. Well, none of us would, I guess. To go to those 3-day conferences with people that show you how to make thousands of pounds and get other people to do your work for you. You know,
Like,
or real estate guys. One of the two.
Vintage, like pyramid schemes.
Yeah, he has that vibe to him. It's a perfect handshake to go with his perfect teeth and his perfect jaw and his perfect stubble and his perfect
And Anna doesn't often shake hands. Instead, she tries to wipe her hands clean on her trouser legs, and it just makes very squeaky sound.
Oh, don't you worry. We don't stand on formalities here, and he sort of just grabs your dirty hand anyway and gives it a firm and friendly shake before subtly trying to wipe it off on just the back of someone that's passing by.
Anna's like, oh, hang on one second, and she grabs what she esteems to be the most expensive bottle from the table, uncorks it, pours a bit on both of her hands, uses it to wash them like it's hand sanitizer, shakes them dry, and then offers her hand to shake again.
I know this move. The Montoya clean. It's a classic.
Oh, you were in prison too, were you?
No. I've never been in prison.
Shh! Don't bring up such things.
You were in prison.
No, it's just a rumor. It's a joke my captain likes to make because he thinks it makes me feel ashamed of myself. But actually, I never got caught for the filthy sex crimes I committed.
He's trying the charm. he's twitching a little bit in the corner of the eye as you talk, but you know, you destroy the strongest man in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. It's not that I'm offering. I mean, I haven't been out of this spacesuit in 4 days, and God knows it's really hard to break wind, and sometimes you just don't know which way that's going to go, and you got to let one off in a hurry. But anyway, it's nice to meet you. Love your bar. Anything needs fixing because I'm still on the clock.
No, I tell you what. Using my power around this place, you're now officially off the clock.
Anna looks at Bill and sticks her tongue out at him.
Please settle down. Look, if you, all of you, please, if you want to hang your suits and your helmets up, please feel free. We've got some fine clothes hanging around. If any of you fancy a change out the back, we've got loads left over as people have left, and we want people to feel at home. If you've been stuck in the same clothes for days and days and days, we do get miners and delivery drivers to bring supplies that need a change, and for free of charge.
You know how it is.
Out there.
After a while, your sort of grease and sweat just makes it feel more comfortable. I'm not quite at the pressure source spot yet. I'm still in the like peak comfort zone. I tell you what, though, in about 48 hours, I'm going to need a fresh skin suit. So I'll take you up on your offer then. She's definitely trying to be as disgusting as possible at this point. She does not want anybody to consider her in any way a sex object on any level. So she's doing her utmost to be vile. And she's hoping that her crewmates know her at least well enough to understand that that's her intention.
Jameson smiles. Flashes his winning smile at you before quite noticeably turning his attention to the two men.
You've got lovely teeth. She won't let his attention go now. She wants to make sure that she's breathing right into his face. Oh, like super. Oh, you've got lovely teeth. Where'd you get them done then, love?
You know, I've never
Are they your own?
Can
I touch him? She wipes her hand on her leg again and reaches out.
No. It's okay. Look, if you need the name of my dentist, I'll write a note down for you. And
dentist? Check these out. She opens her mouth as wide as possible and flicks her front teeth in turn. Look, these are all natural. Look, they're all mine. Everything on them. Didn't get a single knocked out. Not one.
Bill turns to Jameson and says, "And this is why we keep her on the clock."
I see the mistake I made there, Mr.
Raven.
Mr. Raven. A fine name with a fine jacket. If only I had such a fine jacket as that. Is truly splendid.
Don't touch that jacket, sir. Don't touch it. You're a very nice man, but that jacket's worth more than your hands are.
It's very nice of you to say so. You'll understand if I pass up on your clothes, given my.
But who would need my my mere rags when you have such a fine outerwear? Please sit down again. And he sort of looks around for a chair and pulls it up. Now, Reeve, you don't mind if I join you, do you? And Reeve sort of quiets down a bit, so gives a bit of a nod. And,
how is Reeve looking? Is he looking relaxed or awful?
I don't know. Roll 2d6 for me, please.
Oh, okay. Roll. Three.
I couldn't tell less. He's got, you know, it's a new person to you. You can't quite tell how he thinks and how he looks at the moment. His expression is very similar to what it was.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
Sorry.
No, carry on. But
can Bill judge anything more about the relationship that's going on here, other than Reeve being a little bit subservient? I would imagine from what you've said.
Is
there any more sort of
roll a savvy?
Oh, that's a 9 plus nothing.
Wow.
They clearly know each other. There is a slight subservience, and Jameson's confidence appears to be real and not overly put on, if that makes sense. Reeve is a hulking mass of a man, and has self-confidence in himself, but in this social position, it seems like he would slot himself slightly below Jameson in this sort of company.
Okay.
Okay. But he's not scared.
No,
necessarily.
no, he's not. The man doesn't look like he's scared of anything, to be honest.
There's an accord between them, but he doesn't consider himself the top dog.
No, yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Anymore.
All right.
Jameson smiles. So, friends, what brings you to Nameless?
My friend here was hoping for a shiny new life, as per the brochure he carries in his sweaty little hands.
Bill will pull the brochure out.
I'm afraid, friends, you're probably 5 years too late, even for the tail end of the boom.
Gosh, only 5.
Well, things aren't as good as they used to be. We try. Yeah, we do our best, me and my friends, to keep this place running, give people a good time. But people are leaving or dying, and resources are dwindling, and we're doing what we can.
Sorry, Luke, quick question. What's the general age of the Parlour? Only because these are the only people we've seen, right? So...
For the people?
Yeah.
There's probably no one under 30 in there.
Okay.
And no one over 40.
It's very narrow, isn't it? And they'll have a little crystal embedded in their hand.
Do they really?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Oh, you're doing
not
the
saying Logan's
film
right.
thing. Oh, God.
Max, Max
Silent
gonna say, you keep the lights on.
Absolutely.
You keep the place open.
Certainly
You
do.
keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Mind if I ask why?
Well,
I mean, why don't you not and go somewhere else? What keeps you here?
Well, I guess a yearning for the old days. Back in the days, there was a bunch of us that were hired to make sure that spirits were up, entertainment, gambling, keep the make sure the alcohol's okay, you know. And we still try to do that now, even though corporate has left and just left us here. And that's what we do. We keep people happy, and we keep
Who pays
people...
the miners?
Well,
Anna doesn't finish the rest of the question. That's all she needs to ask.
he sort of smiles. We make sure the miners are looked after. We make sure they have a chance to increase their money through us as well. They can, a lot will gamble what they have, and some of them end up with more and can keep things going, keep things going longer.
So you are the font of all wealth in this beautiful location.
Well, you're very generous. I think you know, we do what we can. We try and keep people happy, and we try and like I say, the people that remain here, we try to make sure their bellies are fed and their livers are aching. The ones that want to stay and keep mining and make money from the ships that come past from time to time, taking the ores away, we get a bit of money there. Get a bit of money through deliveries, and
I'm sorry, taking the who away?
the ore,
Sorry, I misheard.
Right. Well, if you want that, we can provide that.
It's been a while for him, let me tell you. Hey, we'd heard, honestly, all the bullshit about his silly brochure aside, I'm the engineer of our ship, and I'd heard a little rattling noise in the rear left engine recycling manifold, and I'd heard that you have a reasonably well-stocked scrapyard that I might be able to find a replacement part in. When I say I heard, I mean somebody mumbled and waved vaguely in your direction on a map. It is the
dice roll from
crankshaft.
me. This requires a dice roll from me. The crankshaft, you're saying? Well,
No. It's the secondary recycle valve on the left manifold.
we could
This is a Spanish one. Sparrow, I love you.
we could probably source you some parts. We could probably source you some parts.
Just the one.
No, what, no. Right.
I'm willing to work for parts. That's what I do. I work.
Fantastic. Well,
You got to understand, drinking in this suit with the amount of, toilet action I'd require, just not worth it. I might as well just run around naked, and trust me, my friend, that's not a sight you want. So I'll pass on the drinking, get on with the working.
right, if you want to work for parts, there's definitely some jobs you can do for us. I think that
Like what?
Well, we've been waiting for people to come that could really step up and do some things. Isn't that right? He sort of looks over at Reeve, who sort of smiles and nods back. Yeah, fantastic. A bit of fresh blood in there, a bit of energy. Wow.
Bill will just casually slip in mechanics jobs.
Mechanics jobs, other jobs, right?
No, mechanics jobs.
Mechanics jobs. He smiles. Jameson smiles. Don't pay well. The jobs that we need pay in credits, not dollary dues.
How many women are in this bar, just casually speaking? Is it like one?
What, you? 3 or 4.
Okay.
You look like people that could do with a credit. Not making judgment, but saw your ship when it landed. It's a beautiful craft, but costs a lot to keep it running. Lot of fuel.
Not really. Not if you know what you're doing.
You guys look pretty hungry. A bit skinny
No.
on the edges. I felt. Isn't that right, Reeve? I saw you nudging our friend Mr. Raven's ribs. He's a bit tight around the ribs, don't you think? We can offer you credits if you want to work. It's easy work. Honestly, there's not too much to it.
What are the jobs? With respect, Mr. Jameson, you talk a lot without really saying very much. Can we just get to the thrust of the issue?
Sure. Shuffle in.
What's the work?
Shuffle in. Tell you what, before we do, let me just pour us all another shot. It's better to talk business with a full glass.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fiance's texting me, and then she texts the other two. One way or another, we're all about to get fucked.
And on that note, we're going to go to our break. And we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. No, Bill. When you come back, you can be the first one on mic when we get back.
Yes, Bill.
Forget it.
Remember that.
Okay.
We're gonna be first
I'll repeat. I'll repeat and cue you in. I'll be fine.
Thanks. Yeah, that's good. That's
All
good.
right.
As long as we've got a flashback.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Right. We're going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes, everyone, and we'll be back for about another hour after that, I reckon. So go to the toilet, grab a drink, do whatever you need to do, and we
Be
shall
comfy.
Be back.
Oh, and browse these lovely links while we're gone. Hang on. Here we go. There's one. And there's the other. Get in on the console while you can, guys.
Throw up the Alkonost as well, Socks. So
yeah.
See how beautiful our beautiful ship really is.
There we go.
So I can put the Alkonost up. There it is.
Yeah, well, there you
Beauty.
Right. On that bombshell, let's go to the break, and we'll see you all in a few.
go. Bombshell.
See you in a moment.
James off. He's over the top. Oh no, James.
Jameson.
Off we go. Goodbye. Welcome back, everyone, to The Boys in the Baltic Star. It is part 2. I need to put Jameson back up. There he is. Didn't get his teeth, though. I need to do a new picture for him with all his shining white teeth. Welcome back. We are playing Orbital Blues tonight. We are part 1 of a new arc for us, using, very specially, we're very lucky, the Afterburn Kickstarter for Orbital Blues. Soul Muppet have sponsored our stream tonight. We really, really appreciate that. It's a game we love anyway. We'll play it whatever, you mugs. But thanks for giving us some sponsorship.
See that love we show them. See it.
Exactly.
Right.
You did give them an out, to be fair, Luke. I think a reasonably easy out, and they chose not to take it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to
Us?
send us some
Really?
digestive biscuits instead?
They were really good. You were really good. It was a wholesome thing.
Everyone's a winner, baby. And now here we are on the planet, well, the asteroid town called Nameless, in a saloon-style bar with our heroes upstairs around a table, with a man who off stream, Socks described as very suspicious because he's got all his teeth. You can tell we're British. Oh, yeah. Anyone with all their teeth is well suspicious. I've still got all of mine.
I'm just pointing out, I trust all three of you very, very much. So, what does that say about
Thanks.
you guys?
Yeah. And I believe we need to cut back to Anna briefly.
Okay, so a recap of the last thing she said. She looked at her portable communication device and went, "Oh, it's from my fiance," and then hurriedly tapped out. No matter what happens, we are all fucked, or we're getting fucked. No matter what happens, we're getting fucked.
Seamless. Bill.
It wasn't anything major. Bill, Ewan was mostly you told me to wait. Ewan would like it known
frankly.
that Bill can quite clearly knows that something's coming through to his communicator, but he's not going to get it out just yet because that's ridiculously suspect. But you give it 5-10 minutes, and he'll take it out of his pocket and read it.
Very optimistic, thinking he's still got 5 or 6 minutes left.
Well, yeah, exactly. Although the rate that we play, that could be like 3 weeks. So.
To cover the pause, Anna murmurs, "Oh, well, Antonio says that, well, he can't get that manifold to restart, so we've got to find a new partner no matter what. And also the cat still hasn't had her kittens. Oh, and you're out of fake milk, Bill. But not to worry. Apparently he can do it with milk and with water and powder, whatever that means."
No, that's not. I'll message him, and Bill takes his communicator out of his pocket and uses that as an opportunity to read his messages with his thumbs going a little bit fake wild.
As this is all happening, Jameson continues his smile. It seems genuine. It's a little bit forced as you're sort of tapping around with your messages after him offering you work and the theory that you're going to find out more about it. At this moment, the piano playing changes somewhat. It sounds like a slightly more talented person has clambered aboard the stall, and it feels like the mood thickens and warms immediately. It's like the piano's gone from clanky to an accomplished sound, and actually, it's the mood just softens somewhat, relaxes even in this presence.
Oh, I love this song. Do you want to dance, Mr. Jameson?
Oh, I love dancing, and well, Billy's an exceptional pianist, but you're asking for you are. Oh, you're nowhere near as attractive.
I promise I won't breathe at you.
Raven, I'm afraid. No. I look forward to it. But first, you asked what work we could offer you.
And you keep talking and never actually saying what work it is. So I figured let's dance instead.
Well, you were all busy with your devices, and I didn't want to interrupt. No, nonsense. No,
Bill tapping away in his pocket. Important milk-based
terrible habit.
Supply issues.
Right, very. I understand it fully. We have some spare milk here. If you wish to take some back on board your fine craft at some point.
It's not actually milk in the strictest sense, but yeah, please.
It's as close as we can get.
Sidebar. Do go on.
I feel you two are speaking at cross euphemisms.
Euphemism, Anyway, jobs. We're always looking for strapping, strong characters to carry out some jobs around here. There's so many things to be doing. Just to keep
I'm sorry, strong and strapping. I'm 5'2", and look at me, I'm a noodle.
You have other skills, I'm sure. I can already see. I'm sure your dancing skills are going to be wonderful when we go for twirl in a minute. But first, you've taken my attention away, madam. I must think of business. Cracks another smile at you. Yes. So, a job's worth credits. Money that you could outfit your craft many times over. Upgrades, food that would be the toast of the systems. Medical bills
I mean,
paid
we
off.
love powdered milk reconstituted with recycled urine. Don't get me wrong. But
Toast does sound good though.
frozen milk does sound good.
Well, we there are. With our work comes some downsides, unfortunately. With our offering of riches and help to people, unfortunately, sometimes people can't pay, and we always sometimes we need to encourage people to pay. We have a few people at the moment that need to pay, and if you could get all of them to pay, we would be willing to pay you 2 credits. It's more than what they owe, but it's about making sure people know that you need to pay.
I fear you've gravely
principle.
misjudged me, actually. And Anna grabs a bottle from the table and turns to walk downstairs to see what the piano player's about.
Well, it's a shame, but I hope you two will at least hear me out for more. There's another group of individuals on this asteroid. They were brought in by the corporation at the start to, I guess, police it, to oversee things, to make sure that things were done correctly. They were very much there to keep the peace, and by keeping the peace, they can be quite vicious to people on Nameless, and have caused many to leave. And well, they run the brewery, and while we can get some drink out, especially the moonshine, the ale and many others that they sell on to passing miners and give no cut to Nameless. We think that Nameless would be better off if we could sabotage their entrance to the brewery, but they could not get in, and we would have a chance to free more alcohol for the parlour and for the people. This group is known locally as the Tin Stars, but from the badges they still wear. They think they're lawmen around this place. They think they rule this place with an iron fist. And if you could slow things down for them at the brewery, help us out somewhere there, we could make you rich people. Booze does just want to be free. And maybe we could lower the prices in the parlour for a short time.
Well, I think we could look at it. We could see if there's anything we can do.
Splendid. How about you, my strong friend? Are you in agreement with Mr. Raven or with your lady friend?
Well, it sounds to me like there might be some violence involved. And I'm not a fan of violence. Especially when it's not being done by me.
He's a man after your heart, Reeve.
We could go and talk to them.
From downstairs, you hear Anna singing, "I was born under a wandering star."
As this is going on, Bill's pulled his communicator out of his pocket, his text Anna, and just said, ask the Ask the pianist if he knows how much some ammo for a pistol costs here, and he'll put it back in his pocket and say, "Sorry, more milk related problems. I'm lactose intolerant."
Oh.
It's a nightmare.
You must have absolute problems with that. Don't you worry. I hope you get it sorted. I've one for the two of you. He sort of reached into his pocket and he pulls out a handwritten list. Whichever way you fancy. This is a list of people that owe us some money. If you could get them to pay up, that would be wonderful. Bring the money back, and we'll see you good on that. He hands it over towards you, Bill. The list. And
this is separate to the sabotage.
That's its own job. That's a couple of credits there. Easy money in that regard. If you wish to sabotage, we'll see. We'll hear about that very quickly. I'm sure the Tin Stars won't be too happy about it, but won't be able to pin it on us. It's nothing to do with me and my friends, and we'll pay you handsomely for that as well. He sort of smiles and offers his hand to the two of you. It's always a pleasure doing business with newcomers.
Can I ask a question before we leave?
You want to just one more thing?
Something like that.
Of course.
You seem to have this end of town pretty well sewn up.
We like to keep people happy.
Why are you asking strangers to go and collect your debts?
You see, there's between you and I, some people are getting quite nervous, especially with the Tin Stars. They're throwing their weight around a lot more recently as numbers are dwindling, and we try not to make too much of a scene. We're trying to stay around the places we know, run things out from a small area for now until power's leveled out a little bit. Let's put it that way. Money coming in for us is good. That helps us, and changing the balance at the brewery would be good as well. And I think you would find a much greater balance in Nameless after that. Isn't that right, my love? And you know, straight around the corner, and a lady walks around the corner. And she sort of smiles, and she walks up behind Jameson and puts her hands sort of on his shoulders and smiles at you both. That's absolutely right, my darling. And she smiles at the two of you. Says, I couldn't help but overhear. I was in the booth next to it, and it sounds like my husband has found two wonderful outsiders who I think we can trust. My name is Rosa. Rosa Cook, wife of Jameson, and a friend to anyone that can offer help to Nameless. And she offers her hand to both of you.
I'm really disappointed her name isn't Lagavulin.
Bill stands as she enters the room and shakes her hand.
A gentleman.
Bows his head slightly.
A pleasure. Mr. Raven, I couldn't help overhear you. My husband does have a way of talking quite loudly.
From downstairs, the pianist starts to play a jaunty tune, and you fairly soon start to hear Anna sing, "Oh, Mazzy dotes and dozy dotes and little lambsy divey, kiddly divey too, wouldn't you?"
As does our engineer.
Mac will stand up and nod to Jameson and say, "Nice to meet you, Rosa."
smiles at you. Could you both roll a savvy, please?
Yep.
Thank you. You can have the upper hand, both of you, actually, because you spent some time in all their presence.
With the upper hand, that's 12.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna. Oh no, actually, I'm good. I'm done. I'm judging my time.
You were going to grit.
I'm on a clock, and I've got to use it at some point. It's the whole point. Mine is. Did you say my savvy is an 8 total?
Well, that's fine.
I'll drop the 1.
You both notice that Reeve's expression when Rosa comes round and puts her hands on the shoulders. He looks a little bit awkward, a little sad, a little forlorn.
Oh dear.
But try avoids that eye contact a little bit. He's softened a little bit around the edge at this point, as the two of you sort of shake hands and curtsy or whatever it is that Bill's doing. As if he's just seen the Queen or something. I don't know. And Rosa and Jameson stands up and joins Rosa. Says, "Now, if you excuse us, we've got half a bottle of the most wonderful wine in our booth. It's the last one on Nameless, and it would be a shame to leave it open and undrunken for long. So please excuse us, but please make yourself welcome in the parlour anytime. Our name goes a long way around these parts. As you remember, there's clothes around the back. Please, if you need them, help yourselves. Please enjoy any of the tables for gaming, and make friends, influence people, and earn your credits while you're here. Thank you very much. I hope this is the start of a wonderful friendship."
Bill will stand and say, "Thank you. Please, please do enjoy the last of what I assume is this summer's wine."
It is the last of the summer wine. Thank you. We will.
Going to walk downstairs and straight over to the bar, please. I would like to find Jody if I can.
You can. As you walk past, you do walk past Anna, who's.
Would you like to hear the next song she's singing?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't think I have any choice, do I?
There once was a farmer who took a young miss to the back of the stables and gave her a lecture on roses and chickens and eggs. He said that she had the most beautiful manners that suited a girl of her charms, and so on.
Yeah.
For some reason, she's singing like she's in Oliver fucking Twist and not any other production on the West End.
The pianist is keeping up with you quite well, though. It's turned to a lady pianist, and she's
We have wait for an accord. Come on.
A very attractive lady pianist, actually, who's keeping up quite well. She's almost following your lead, and she doesn't know the songs you're singing; they're ridiculous. But
ridiculous.
She's making a good fist of it. Smiles at you, Mac, as you walk back over to the bar, and Jody is indeed there, polishing a glass. Oh, sir! Wonderful to have you back. I hope you're having a wonderful stay here at the parlour, making friends, influencing people. What can I get you, friend?
Well, I have been informed that
Yes.
some basic hospitality may be on the house for me here.
Oh, well, hospitality comes in many forms, sir. What are you looking for?
Something simple like a Mikey's, please. And just a little bit of information.
You hear him. You hear the sort of the hiss of the bottle top of a Mikey's, one of the large bottles. You know, the ones that are just over a pint. Crack open, and he pops it down the table. The froth sort of comes up over the edge and down the side of the bottle as he puts it down. Of course, sir. What can I do you for in that regard?
I've never really spent any time around the mining industry.
Well, it's got its ups and downs, sir. A lot of downs in the mining industry. Do you get it?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Um, I I'm just wondering, as someone who travels around a bit now looking for opportunities, um, you get miners coming in here, right, to have a drink, play a game.
Eh, Well, miners are not under 18s, of course, sir, but the other miners, yes, of course, all the time. There's far fewer miners than there used to be. There's just a handful now that still go underground to extract the ore, as it were. A lot of the others have left on ships long ago, but we do get a few in, so yes.
Hmm. I would like the opportunity to maybe um, speak to one or two as they're going on or off shift. Do you know what shift patterns they work?
Oh well, sir. Nowadays they're very much a power to themselves. There is a small bunch of them, a small group. The man you need to talk to in that regards is a man called Josie Ling. That's Joseylingg, if you like to make notes, sir.
I do, thank you.
He is the not that spelling's important around here. Just ask for Josie, and people know he is what they would say the de facto leader of the last miners left. There's not much left around, but he's the one that they go through. He decides on shift patterns and what they're buying and selling. Of course, he has to answer somewhat to the Tin Stars, sir, of course, but he's very much in charge around here, around that end of town.
Okay. I, I don't suppose you have any idea where I'd be able to find this Josie Ling.
Um, at this time, maybe he could be in one of a few places. He comes in here from time to time. If he's not here, he's in his room, or he's eating at the diner, or he's at the mines, sir.
Hmm.
There's but then there's not many other places to go, really.
Sure. The diner, you say. Who owns the diner?
Oh, it's a funny story about the diner, sir. It's not really owned by anyone since the corporation pulled out. There's a lady called Cindy who I guess runs it. She's the cook and the waitress. Um, she works there every hour of the day, sir. She's a lovely lady. Um, and I guess these days she's not rushed off her feet like she used to be 5 or 6 years ago.
Hmm.
She may only see half a dozen people in during the day, sir, but she always gives a smile and provides you with the food that you order, as long as it's on the shortening menu. So.
Mm-hmm. And this diner, would Cindy be very much under the thumb of the Tin Stars as well?
Uh, mm, mm, um, um, he sort of leans into you slightly. He says, "How many dollar dues do you have, sir?"
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
I can tell you things for some of those dollar dues, sir.
I see. So there are limits to the free hospitality I was promised.
Well, sir, my free hospitality comes comes through the gamblers, sir.
Mm.
But
I understand.
this is very much my hospitality, sir. I'm not expensive, sir, but every every dollar we do helps me to buy a hot meal at the diner, or maybe a sugar candy or a lunar noodle at the store, sir.
All right. I'll I will take out a 20 and show it to him, but keep it in my hand, and say, the information's useful.
Also, he half reaches out his hand expectantly. Hopefully, I guess you'll hand it over. Leans in, and sort of looks around a bit, looking for, almost if he's looking for key people, if they're paying attention. Between you and me, sir, my life is fine. Some people have it harder than others. Cindy, sir, things are toughening for her, you could say, at the minute, sir. She's well, you know how things are, sir. As lovely as the gamblers are, sir, and they do keep me in a job, they have been taking larger and larger cuts of her profit recently, sir. She's having to work longer hours, sir, and hope for more clientele. I help her out when I can, so and this money would go to a meal there and money in her pocket, sir.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that, but what I really wanted to know is
she single?
Is she under the control of the Tin Stars?
I would say, sir, that Cindy's very much her own woman. So if you meet her, you'll see that. I don't believe that she is under control of the Tin Stars.
Can I make an observation check to tell if I believe her?
You can make a savvy.
I believe him. Sorry.
You can make a savvy check with the upper hand because you've spent time around him, so you could see
Okay.
his expressions and his demeanour.
Happy with that.
Yes, Ewan.
Good question, Ewan. It's the salient question. So he's pussyfooting around. He's too scared to ask about it. Isn't
I
he?
know. I could tell.
That's a 12.
Ooh.
But is she attractive, Jodie? From what you can tell, he is telling the truth.
Okay.
Good roll.
He's looking expectantly at your 20 again.
Yep. I will slide across the 20. And walk over to join Anna. And I will also drop a couple of singles into, if there's a glass on the piano, for the pianist.
Yeah. Just roll something. The pianist looks up and smiles at you. She's got she stands out somewhat in this bar, in that she's had her back the whole time. Anna's just been happily singing along. I'm forcing her to catch up. But for you, as actually approaching and money going towards her, she does look out and smile at you. She's, like in any situation in life where you go into a space, a room, walking down the street, when you're watching a film or TV program, and someone stands out a little bit, I guess, that they feel like they don't belong so much, like they're too good for a place, or they've been parachuted in from another setting.
Yep.
She briefly gives you that vibe down the back of your spine. It might be because you're just really horny right now.
Nice. Anna,
possible, but
Anna is going to wink at Matt
you
and
won't,
start singing, "Sing us a song, you're the piano man." And as she walks away from the piano, she's going to slap Matt right on the arse. Get on with it, mate. She's all yours. And she goes off to the bar.
the pianist turns around and smiles at you and says, "Are you as good a singer as your friend?"
I'm really not.
She shouts over to you, Anna. "Hey, lady, what does he sing? What does he sing?"
Oh, for a slap and a tickle, anything you want, my love. But mostly angry German rap. I don't know. Have you got anything by Rammstein? He did fall in love with a song by Kajagoogoo called "Too Shy." You might want that one if you got it. too shy. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds like that's got the exact same tune as the song "Slap and Tickle" by Coochie Gee.
Yeah, you know it.
And she
Amazing.
starts jangling the tune out, looking expectantly at you, Matt.
Please tell me it's in a country or western style.
Oh, of course it is.
Richard French at the piano.
Coochie Gee was a country and western singer, despite what you think.
Mac
As opposed to his
will
famous sister in the vaudeville, whose name was Kuchiku.
Mac will chuckle, but take his beer following Anna.
Oh. Anna just shakes her head. She's like, look, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. She wants your company. That's all there is in a place like this. You got money, you got company, you've got alcohol. Take your pick. You gave her money. I mean, shy, hush, hush, Anna, I do.
Jodie smiles at you, Anna. You have a beautiful voice, miss. What drink would you like?
I don't want anything, thanks.
Are you sure it might help your voice?
Yeah, I went on it a little bit too hard last week, and I'm still getting it through my GI. You know what I mean? And in a suit as tight as this, and she kind of like twirls a bit and wiggles her bum. In a suit as tight as this, you don't want to be having to get it off in a hurry. So, backing off the booze for a couple of days. You know what I mean?
Of course, madam. I have just a thing for you. And he slides across a bowl of something that looks like nuts.
How many fingers have been in this bowl?
Your fingers would be the first, madam.
I mean, I don't care. I was just curious. And then she cheerfully starts just throwing the nuts back while ambling back to the piano to carry on humming.
They're not nuts.
Oh, Christ. What? What are they?
Jodie's polishing his glasses. He doesn't have to heard you. Billy looks up at you and smiles. Oh, welcome back.
She possibly has one thing in her mouth. It's not a peanut. Spits it across the floor. Fucking clown, isn't he? Let's sing another song. Let's go. What do you got? Let's do something slow and smoochy.
Good, but I'm more classically trained. And
okay.
It's the country western's not my favourite thing. I like to play what the people want, but if I have freedom of the keys.
Okay. Do you know this one? And then,
classical.
with surprising ability, Anna starts singing Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma. Yeah, she really goes into it.
I can give that a go. And Billy starts playing along with you. You see the way she plays, her fingers caress across the keys, the shoulders move. She's very different to the guy when you first came in, who was that juk 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 juk. I'm a tavern piano player. She looks very classically trained. She's
Anna, hold up a finger. Just a minute.
I
I just got to text my boyfriend. And then she texts Antonio. Piano player is really fucking hot. Just saying. And then that's it. That's the whole message. And then she carries on singing. And you know, she's actually not terrible. Like, her version of Italian is completely nonsensical. And it's just really the phonetics that she thinks she knows from when she was a child. So this is like 20 years old, this knowledge. But she's given it her best shot, standing there quite bravely, just giving this enormous song to the bar as best as she can.
So, where are you from, miss?
Oh, Sister Mavor too, you know. Nowhere special to speak of.
Do you, what on earth brought you to Nameless? It's not a place that anyone would choose to come.
If I said miserable fucking misfortune, would you know what I meant?
That's why I'm still here, it must be said.
Are you looking for a way out?
I don't really have a way out at the minute, really. Not while I'm in my situation.
What's your situation?
Do
Do you want to pretend like we're not in a bar and go find somewhere to sit down quietly and talk? Or, I tell you what, and she slides onto the stool next to Billy and starts tapping out a tune with one finger on the key so the piano can cover their sound of them talking while they're relatively close to each other and can talk with some privacy.
Billy smiles at your effort. Please roll for me a grit Your determination to actually try and attempt something on the piano that you
Yeah.
have no skill of whatsoever.
Happily, and for one of the first times ever, I get to use my main stat.
Oh my god.
2d6 plus 2. I feel like it's terribly wrong. 9!
You're pretty good, and Billy smiles, and she effortlessly slips into something it looks like she's played a billion times. That she can play without thinking.
Yeah.
She smiles and says, that's perfect. That's a perfect bed for me. I can play this. I can play this in my sleep." As she starts playing, he says,
Is it We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel?
it's something along those lines, but
Nice.
it sounds really, really similar, but it's by someone called Coochie Gee.
Ginny Pole. It's by Ginny Pole. Anyway, go on. What's the situation then? Come on, Billy, lay it on me.
To talk to me.
But as soon as I know what's going on, if I can help you, I will.
Well, I haven't left the parlour for a year now. I'm allowed to sleep upstairs. I find a way.
Didn't start the fire.
Around the back, there's a small room out the back. It's a closet, if anything. But I owe serious money to the Tin Stars. And
How much is serious money?
Well, by now, the amount they put on it, stupid money. I only owed a couple of $100 dues to start, but the interest they started putting on was ridiculous, and then I needed to take out more to pay that back, and I had to sell my the place I was staying. I had to sort of offer that to them for whatever they wanted it for, and it just got out of control. If I stepped
they're
out,
not
if I
taking
left
anything
here,
else, are they? You know that you.
well, they can't.
You know.
While I'm in here, I'm safe. The Tin Stars won't come in here because of the gamblers, right? This is their place, and while they're far from perfect, like honestly, far from perfect. At least while I can play the piano, keep people happy, I'm safe here. But if I step outside of there, I don't.
How much are you paying the owners here for the? I take it the owner is the man with the teeth, and his thug is the man with the hands.
You mean Jameson and Reeve?
Whatever their names, I don't.
It
Toothy and
depends.
shoulders.
Jameson and Rosa probably run it equally. They're a couple, right?
Rosa, all right.
Jameson's, he's the smiley guy. He sorts everything out. Rosa doesn't like to be involved in stuff. She's the one that's good with the money, keeps herself in the background. But between the two of them, they've got it down pat,
How much are they charging you for your safety?
While I keep people happy and I can play for 8 or 9 hours a day, I'm fine.
What sparked the original debt?
There's something stupid.
Oh, it's turning since the world's been burning. She gets the words wrong on purpose.
Like, I came over here and I worked here. I worked at the diner for a while, right? And
yeah.
And then 1 month, the corporation, everything was falling apart. The corporation couldn't pay wages for a few months. Like the miners, they got paid separate, right? They got done by by churning the stuff out. I had no idea how the miners got paid, but those of us that came over to work in the buildings, we got paid a wage. And as the corporation pulled out, there was a few months where we didn't get paid. Some of us got hungry, and we had to turn to favours and getting money to survive, really. And the powers that be. I ain't saying the gamblers are great either, right? Like, they have their ways of getting money out of people, but it was the Tin Stars that got to me, so I turned to the gamblers who offered me a roof, offered me safe haven. As long as I, played, I can play. At least that's a skill I've got. I get some drink, I get some food, I've got a place to stay safe, but I can't leave this place. I haven't left it in a couple of years almost now.
Listen, I'm a mechanic. I don't do much. I'm not clever. I'm not pretty. But there are things I won't do. And one of the things is victimize poor people for money that they don't have to pay people who don't need it. And it sounded to me like that's what we were about to get us to do upstairs. Is there a chance that when he says, go and collect on debts that I'm owed, he means something other than beating up already beaten people?
Roll us. How are you going to approach this? How are you asking? So I'm going to make you make a roll, but I want you to. Are you going to be
incredibly? Okay, so I've got to explain. Just as a quick aside, I'm sorry, Fourth Wall, you're out of here for a minute. I've got a very slender cat called Galileo, and I've got a very big cat called Cassini. And Galileo can hop up onto I keep my jumpers in a basket on the top shelf of my shelves, and Galileo can hop up there with enormous elegance and go to sleep and be perfectly happy. However, this is a jump that Cassini has just attempted with. I mean, he rolled T1s. That's all I'm saying. It was terrible, and that's what the crash was. It was the cat massively failing to make a jump. Anyway, sorry. Hi. So Anna's coming at it. Clearly, she's got a past where she understands the life of the underdog and how you've just got to keep going sometimes. And that's the tone of voice. She's not judging. She's not offering any kind of... she's not promising help or support. She's just trying to get the lay of the land at the moment.
And it's savvy then, please.
Yeah, and she's very sympathetic to Billy's position, but that's not rolling into promises of help yet.
Yeah, it's savvy then, please.